Hi, I'm Jennifer Hollick, and I would like to invite you to a new class that I'm offering as part of the Coffee with My Ancestors series, where we sit and have a conversation with our ancestors and look at our genealogy and military research and our own lives. This class is, why was Grandma so mean? And that is a question I think we ask about a lot of our family members and ancestors. We hear stories or we have experiences and we ask a question like that, or why were they so sad? You know, something might have happened to them that there was just this energy of sadness and grief that permeated their lives. And that is the perception that we had of those ancestors. And as we continue to shift in this ever-changing world, I think questions like this are very important to be asking. Working with our ancestors, looking at the things that affected them, because the traumas that they endured, the things that they didn't process, were passed down through the generations. So while Grandma, or in this case, I'm going to tell you about my great-grandmother Bessie, while I may be a few generations removed from her, I'm still feeling the effects of trauma she endured, things she didn't process, being a woman in this family and of this ancestral lineage. So in Why Was Grandma So Mean? I'm going to take you on a journey, and we're going to look at my story. And I'm going to show you through the genealogy records different things that would have impacted her life, things that we can prove with the paper trail. But then we're going to take that a step further, and we're going to look at historical context. What else was happening in her life, in her city, maybe her state or her country or the world that affected or could have affected the beliefs she held, the patterns she created, the behaviors she had, and whether or not, in general, she was a happy woman, a sad woman, an angry woman, whatever. We're also going to look at the idea of perception and perspective. If you are sitting around a table with your grandparents and your parents are there and maybe your siblings are there, maybe some cousins, and you all start telling family stories and you think about a time when something massive happened, you know, maybe there was a family member that died, maybe somebody got sick, maybe there was an accident. Everybody around that table is probably going to have a slightly different variation of how they remember the events, okay? Our perspective of who somebody is or what happened is also shaped by the things that have happened to us, whether it's early childhood traumas, whether it's beliefs and patterns that were passed down through the family, or programming from education, religion, society in general, or just trying to fit in with our culture. There are so many different factors that can shape our perspective and the lens that we see our family members through and that we see ourselves through. So while everything I'm going to talk about when we look at Bessie's story might not be able to be proven with a genealogical paper trail, and you can use this if you're looking at military also, which I have another class for that, we can say that because of these certain events, loss of babies, loss of siblings at a young age, different historical events that happened, it's possible that all of these things could have shaped who she became and then affected the perception that family members had of her. So I invite you on this journey. This will be about a 45 to 60-minute webinar with time for Q&A. And we're going to look at genealogical records. We're going to talk about family stories. We're going to talk about our perceptions of who people are. You'll go away with a worksheet full of different questions you can ask and some different resources that you can look into to start to piece together your own family's puzzle around the people that you're curious about, and maybe write a new narrative, one that is full of more understanding and compassion instead of maybe negative stories that you've heard. So if you're interested, sign up today for Why Was Grandma So Mean? And let's take this journey together. Thanks.